Hey, this is going to be a short video on why articles are important. I'm making this video for non-native speakers who do want to improve their communication skills and who do want to sound better in business. So if your language of business is English, keep watching. I have analyzed a lot of non-native speakers coming from Spain, Russia, Asia, other European countries, and it's interesting that Russians have the biggest problem with articles. They simply ignore them as if they don't exist. So if your first language is Russian, you probably can recognize yourself, and you don't understand why you even need articles. Everybody talks about them, everybody pays attention to them in every book, but you still cannot figure out why, because even your English teacher at school makes mistakes and cannot clearly explain why the article needs to be there. So we've been told, this is at least what I remember, and when I talk to other people, they confirm my findings, that we've been told that articles are something necessary to have in the English language, but it's just a rule. I mean, they don't really make a big difference, they don't really make a huge impact on how you speak, so it's a rule you have to remember, you don't necessarily have to understand it. Of course, if you have the option to skip it, you will. And I understand why people keep ignoring articles, and I understand why people forget to use them, because if it's not clear, I'm not going to do this. If it is clear to me, and if I do understand why that matters, I'm going to do it. So articles make your speech more alive, and you sound more like a native speaker. So if you go ahead and say something like, I have house, we have dog, and I have daughter, it just sounds so weird and so abrupt. If you say the same thing with articles, it sounds completely different. Like, I have a house and we have a beautiful dog and I have a daughter. It sounds smoother. So articles are these little things that make your speech a lot smoother. And they do make a big difference. So usually there is a story behind every article. There is a story why they need to be there. And when I developed the workshop on articles, I explain what's the story behind it. So just to give you an example, at one of my regular practical sessions, a lady came in and she started talking about the weekend. And she started talking about her weekend. She said a phrase, I went to the movies with a friend, and the person asked her, do you only have one friend? She couldn't understand why he asked that question, but this is what it sounds like when you say, I went to the movies with the friend. It means you don't have any other friends. There is this only one friend, and you went to the movies with that person. So articles actually are loaded with meaning. So articles actually change the meaning of what you say. So if you say, I went to the movies with a friend of mine, or with a friend, it means you have many friends, so you just picked one. If you say, I went with this friend, it means you don't have any other friends, just one. And you just take him or her everywhere you go. And another simple tip to remember why articles are important, and probably to understand why you need to use them. If you speak German, well, I do, and I think it's easier for me. If you speak German, you know that the way they count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 1 is always the beginning, and it means one. And English belongs to the Germanic group of languages. That means it kind of originated from German. And the reason why we have and n in English is because it used to be one. The way Germans speak today, they say, kannst du mir bitte einen Löffel geben? Can you pass me one spoon? Instead of saying, can you pass me a spoon, they used to say, can you pass me one spoon? So it used to be one. And then one got reduced, and this is why we have this n. It's a reduced form of one. This is why we say a boy, a book, an elephant, an apple. And it all used to be one boy, one book, one elephant, one apple. There is a story behind the articles, and there is a story, and because there is a story, it's so fascinating that actually it means something. And what it means one. So whenever you say, I have a house, it means you have one house. Or when you say I bought a car, it means you bought one car. There is a meaning behind it. So just pay attention to your articles. If you don't remember how and when to use them, go back and check it out. but just be mindful of your articles and remember that your speech sounds a lot more alive, a lot smoother, and it's a lot easier for native speakers to understand you when you use your articles properly and when you put them in the right places. We made a video on how non-native speakers make mistakes when it comes to articles, and you can hear how Indian, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, Italian people speak there, including Russians as well. So if you want to learn more about articles, go check out that video and comment under the video if you can spot the mistakes. The video is full of mistakes. The articles are missing in every piece of the video that we put together. So go check it out and let me know if you can spot the mistakes. And pay attention to the way you speak. Make sure that your articles are in place. You can speak the language, you can master the language, and we need to learn to master the language.